Hello and welcome to the BroadwayMania Holiday Special. This is the virtual red carpet where you will meet the stars of tonight's presentation. I'll be your host tonight for this virtual red carpet. My name is Patrick Oliver Jones, and I've been an actor and singer here in New York City for about 12 years. Been in the business for 25 years myself, and for the last 3 years, I've been hosting a podcast called Why I'll Never Make It, which is something that all of us entertainers certainly know something about. And especially here, 2020, it's been just a wild and crazy year where we're all just trying to make it and get by through theater and the types of performing that we love to do and finding a way to do that. And that's exactly what BroadwayMania has brought, a way for artists to connect and for us to find a venue in order for us to do the craft and do the art that we love to do. And so we're going to be meeting some of the stars of tonight's show. And so let's get it started off with Amanda. She is the director of tonight. This is Amanda Varelakis.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Patrick. How are you?
I am good. So you're actually making your directing debut with this presentation. How does it feel to put this all together?
Well, it's been a trip. I say co-director, and honestly, I feel more like an apprentice. Cecy is just incredible, and since I joined BroadwayMania, honestly, it's one of the things that I've always been kind of stunned over is just her ability to produce an amazing production. So it's been an honor, actually, to kind of work under her and learn. And I hope I've helped a little bit, but it's really exciting, actually.
And I imagine this has been an enjoyable process for you putting all this together and working with these artists.
Absolutely, absolutely. BroadwayMania, we have what we refer to as BM culture, and it's just a great group of people. We're supportive of each other, we cheer each other on, and it's like a family, really.
And by day, you are actually a licensed attorney. So have you found any similarities between the law that you practice and the theater?
Guilty. Yeah. Yes. There's many similarities. I'm always asked, how did you make the jump from, actress, singer, dancer, performer to an attorney? And I got to be honest with you, there's a lot of similarities. You have to be able to read people. You have to connect with people. I'm great in the courtroom. I actually am not practicing anymore right now. Actually, I'm singing. But I kind of go back and forth in my life, and it's very interesting. I'm very happy to be able to do both things in my life.
And part of your training was being a part of the prestigious British American Drama Academy at Oxford University. Now, I can only imagine what that experience was like because their alumni includes Broadway veterans like Melissa Errico, Paul Rudd, and the late Chadwick Boseman. So what would you say is the difference between the British training that you got and some of the American training that you've gotten?
Well, first of all, it was incredible. What an opportunity. I think the difference really, and I don't know if it's a difference between British and American or just, the program that I was in, but it was very theoretical, very much, based on different theories. They really delved into, the character and why the character feels the way they do. And I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's different than, we do that in America, obviously, too. But it was different. There was just, and also I was young. I was in college at the time. So, it was, I don't know. That's hard to answer, Patrick. But
yes, the basics are all the same, but I just know, like, from what I see whenever I see a British actor and American actor, they're just, it's almost like you can tell the difference between the type of, I guess the way that they approach a character or just the language itself sometimes comes off a little differently British than American. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Well, this has, as I was saying, this has certainly been a wild ride for us. And so I want to ask you, and I'll be asking all of the interviews tonight, what has been your best memory? It's been a crazy year, but what's been your best memory? What kind of silver lining can you pull from 2020?
It has been a crazy year. I think what I can pull from 2020, first of all, we got a new puppy, and that was exciting. And now I have two at home. I won't go into that story. I'm not quite sure how that happened. I probably should take the blame for it. But yes, I got a new puppy. But I think, being in quarantine and I have two small children who I was homeschooling at the time. And, the parents working from home. I do think it gave us a chance to, it gave me a chance to really connect with my children and actually understand what exactly it is that they do all day in school. It gave me a better appreciation for the curriculum, so that I can help them better. So as a parent, although it was not fun at all, I learned a lot. And it will help me be a better parent for them.
Yeah, because you were really going to school with your children.
I was. There's a whole new math out there.
Well, thank you so much, Amanda.
Thank you, Patrick.
And from Providence, Rhode Island, we have Sean Millas joining us.
Hi,
Patrick. Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
I'm good. Now, you have been with BroadwayMania since June of this summer, 2020. And during your college years, I understand that you performed, one of your summer gigs was performing 9 shows in 11 weeks, which just sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it definitely was, but it was such a fantastic experience. It was with a company called College Light Opera Company, and it was in New England. And so who knew that I would end up in New England again so many years later? And what happened was the first show we learned in the first 2 weeks, and then the third week put that on. But during the day, we actually learned the following week's show. So we were learning one show and performing another all at the same time. So it was quite the exercise.
Did you ever mix up lines or cues with one show to the other?
Surprisingly, no. The entire company was just so fantastic. It was pretty awesome.
And do you have a favorite show from that summer, since you did 9 in a row?
There were so many that were fantastic. I got to play the lead in 42nd Street, so I thought that was pretty awesome. So I would have to probably choose that.
Yeah, that's a great show. And musical theater is not your only singing. You've also been with the Columbus Symphony Choir and the Lexington Chamber Chorale. So are you more comfortable, or classical is just kind of where you more lean?
So I originally auditioned for musical theater as I was going to college, but I didn't have much in my background at the time, and got accepted as a classical student. So I actually grew to love classical music. So really both hold a special place in my heart for very different reasons.
Right. And so while you got that bachelor's in vocal performance, what other jobs or hobbies do you find you're passionate about?
So I used to love to go to movies and theaters, but in the current climate, that's not quite the option. So really anything in the arts or media, I tend to try to surround myself with. I think in the home quarantine, more games. I grew up enjoying board games and card games, and spending that with my family now, I think is a nice full circle moment, if you will. But yeah, really anything in the arts, I try to take in and explore and do what I can there.
Yeah, and games have certainly been on the resurgence. I remember at the height of the summer, when everyone was shut down, jigsaw puzzles were impossible to find because that's what everyone wanted to do. So did you find jigsaw puzzles as well?
We actually found, and I wish I could remember the company at the moment, but there are puzzles where it's actually the shape of an animal, and all of the pieces relate to that animal. So there's a lion and the jungle pieces. So none of them are, your standard puzzle pieces, and really follow any of the normal rules. So that was quite the experience. They're such great puzzles. So, I'm sure it'll come back to me later. And Lego, of course, has been a lifesaver.
Building.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so for you, obviously the games and spending time with family, but do you have any other highlights or best memories of 2020?
Yeah, so my husband and I bought our first house this year, which is something that was not on the radar at all, but I think all the time at home just was the catalyst, I guess. So we just moved in a few weeks ago. It's been quite a busy couple months trying to get the house ready and moving in. So despite some not great things that are happening or have happened this year, it actually was a pretty good year as well. So it feels weird to say that.
Were you in an apartment beforehand?
Yeah, so we were in an apartment, and Actually, the house next door went up for sale, so that's the one that we bought. I think it was.
Oh, that must have been an easy move.
Yeah, well, yes, but 3 flights of stairs down was challenging to get all the stuff down.
Yeah, and even though it's next door, you still have to move every single item from here to there. It doesn't matter how far the distance. Yeah, exactly. Well, good to meet you, Sean.
Thank you. You as well.
And now we have coming to us from Knoxville, Tennessee, Amber Dickson.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Amber. Welcome.
Hello.
Now, you have been with BroadwayMania since August of 2019. But your career actually started way back at the young age of 3, right? You were dancing at a very young age.
Yes, my mother threw me into dancing, and being, a child that loved the stage, I wanted to do only solo acts. I didn't want to be in groups, so I got thrown on stage by myself as a 3-year-old. But it was a lot of fun and it taught me a lot for sure.
And what did you love about dancing as a child, or performing in general?
I think it was the attention. One of my favorite acts and my family's favorite acts is I did a pink Cadillac routine, and they put a pink Cadillac on the front of a big wheel, and I drove up on the stage and, put my glasses down and winked, and I was a child of the stage for sure.
Yeah. And now you have a child of your own. Does she have any dancing or performing dreams?
I do. She does. She does singing, and she's in a rock band, and they do singing. And she has really learned a lot about kind of old school music, which is nice. And she really, really does love to sing. Not much into dancing, but she does love to sing.
Now, when did singing come along for you? That dancing was first, but when did the singing and the love of the singing and acting come along? Yeah,
as a kind of preteen, I kind of realized that I really liked singing a lot and started to get into theater. So my local theater companies did a few musicals, and then kind of transitioned into kind of a choir choral instead of dancing. So it's definitely what I love the most. It may be what I get the most nervous about, but I think it's just because I love it so much.
And while you do love singing, your survival job, so to speak, is being in advertising. So are you able to use your creativity in that field?
Yeah, so I'm on the account side. So I do a lot of just managing everybody, including creatives, but they let me definitely use my creative juices from time to time, and have done a little bit of voiceover work from time to time for them. So nice. That's always fun. Mm-hmm.
And for you with this year, 2020, what has been your best memory? What's your silver lining?
Yeah, similar to what Amanda said, I have a daughter at home, and for the first time, I'm able to get her off the bus at the end of the day. I've always been at the office and someone else picks her up, or there's a babysitter. And this year I can actually get her off the bus and make her a snack and kind of experience that right after school conversation. And that's been a real blessing for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Patrick.
And next up, we have Toby Blackwell coming to where I'm from, New York City.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Now, Toby, you and I go way back. We go about 20 years back. We performed together at Tokyo Disney Sea, the opening cast of that.
Yes, at the, what was our show called? Encore, the Broadway review show, the most non-Disney thing ever at Disney.
Yeah. Within that show, there was one Disney song from Beauty and the Beast. The rest of it was all just old time musical songs and everything.
Right, which was great, which was fun. But yeah, so it's been a long time.
Yeah, and since then you've gotten to work in other regional theaters. You did a Broadway tour. What was that like?
It's been amazing. I sort of kept going for a while. Improving. I worked again for Disney at Hong Kong Disneyland. I opened Festival of the Lion King there, but then I finally got to do the international tour of Rent, which was very exciting. And I got to perform with the 2 original guys. That were, from Anthony and Adam that were in the original cast, and just work with some really great people. It was such an amazing experience. And then since then, I haven't really done so much. I've sort of stepped away from performing, and I've been tutoring kids and adults taking standardized tests. So it's very different, but still use some of the same skills.
Yeah, you're using that other part of your brain now to teach them. Now, your education is Harvard University, which is, of course, a very prestigious and demanding college. Did you find it difficult and challenging while you were there?
Sort of. I mean, it was difficult in the way, school was always easy for me as a kid, so it was difficult that I wasn't getting straight A's, and I had to actually put in work and I had to get up early, which actually was not that fun. I also had I was doing ROTC, so I had a whole military side. I had extra stuff I had to do. Then doing theater and acapella at that same time. It was just a lot of things going on. And so, jumping into that after coming from high school and doing like one club at a time or something was just a little different for me. But I loved it. I would not trade it for the world, the experience.
And that ROTC, that was with the Navy, correct?
Right. I was in the Navy for 4 years.
And what was your position, or what did you get to learn with the Navy?
I learned, I was in supply. So I was in charge of food service 1 year and then payroll and sales. So it was kind of businessy. So it had some practical applications to the outside world. But really what I learned about was people and how to manage and deal with all sorts of peoples from all walks of life, that have to work together. And I did very well. I was good at people, and it's kind of the same skills we use in performing. So that really helped.
And you've been part of the creative team in putting this show together. You were actually rewrote the lyrics to 12 Days of Christmas. So, does writing come naturally? Yeah,
I've been a parody writer for a long time, actually since college. And so this was only the fourth time that other people have performed my parodies. I think you actually performed a parody show. I did a parody show at Tokyo Disney Sea, and I think all the singers were in it. Were you in that? Yes. Yeah. So that was the second time that someone performed my stuff. So I'm still doing the same stuff, Patrick. 20 years later, same shit.
Right. It's just a different day.
Yeah, just a different way. Just now it's virtual.
I love it. Well, for you, what has been your best memory of 2020?
I have two, really, I think. In August, I got to perform a Motown concert with two other people outdoors, one of these outdoor things where people drove in and they sat in their cars, and it was very socially distant, and it was amazing. I didn't think I hadn't performed for live in a long time, and I didn't think that I would do that in the middle of a pandemic. Like, that never occurred to me. And just that I was able to do that, and we rehearsed, mostly virtually, but with some socially distant rehearsals. We had choreography and stuff, and it really came together and was really appreciated. And that was really a great moment for me. And then the other was staying 10 weeks with my boyfriend when we sheltered in place, and kind of living that life, and just knowing it really deepened our relationship, and just gave us a glimpse of something on the other side. So I think there's some good things to be taken from this quarantine, which has mostly not been so cute.
Right. I mean, if there is one silver lining, it seems like it's bringing us closer together with those that matter most to us. Yeah, really. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Toby.
It is good to see you again.
Good to see you. And next up, we have coming to us from Portland, Maine, Sadie McCurry. Hi, Sadie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Now, you joined BroadwayMania back in May of 2020, but this obviously wasn't your first introduction to singing. What got you into singing and musical theater?
Well, I always sang in choir. I went to a couple choral camps, so I was always singing in school, and I did a couple extracurricular choirs outside of school. But I credit my love of musicals to my parents, who always rented old movies for me to watch. I remember going out to dinner on the weekends, and we'd go to the video store after. Don't exist anymore, the video stores, but
remember those, right? Yeah.
Yeah. We'd go there after, and I got to pick an old movie and a musical. And it's funny because actually in the last few months, I've been talking to my parents a lot about it, and neither of them seem to like musicals very much. So I'm always wondering, why did you rent me all these musicals and get me into them when you don't really like musicals? So I found that out recently, which was really interesting, but I credit it to them, even if it was inadvertent.
Yeah. So what would be one of your favorites that you got to watch back then?
Oh, I love The Music Man. My Fair Lady. I'm sure I'm going to forget
But
and
yeah,
remember more later.
those classic movie musicals from
Yes.
that's really what was my introduction to it as well, because I did like church musicals and that kind of thing, but it was those movie musicals that really got me into that Broadway
Yeah.
mindset.
Gene
Now,
Kelly and all that.
oh yeah, Gene Kelly, all of those. And for you, you've also done more pop singing. You've been a part of a band, right? And
Yes.
you've actually gotten to release some albums. So tell us about your band.
Yeah, so I'm in a local band in Portland here. We're called Sunset Hearts. It's actually my brother's band. He's the singer, the lead singer, and he writes all of the music. And then I sing backup and usually play samples on an iPad. And that's the extent of my yes, exactly. That's the extent of my instrument playing. It's just hitting the buttons on there. But yeah, we did a couple kind of mini tours. We've played in New York and Vermont and Massachusetts, and we were able to release 2 albums and an EP, and he actually did most of the mixing and mastering for those, which was really interesting. It was really cool to be able to do like all of the recording ourselves. So I've learned a little bit about recording. I've certainly had to exercise that now in BroadwayMania, but yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that all of us are having to learn in this virtual world, whether we're doing self-tapes or recordings we're having to kind of become our own technicians. So you've gained another skill through the band as well.
Yes, exactly.
And so for you, what has been a highlight of 2020?
So I know we all have in common that BroadwayMania has been a huge part. So I definitely want to say that because it was my first production with BroadwayMania was one of my favorite shows, Bear, a pop opera. So I just wanted to plug that because it really meant a lot to me. But I was actually laid off because of COVID from my job right before I joined BroadwayMania, and I'm in Maine. So summer in Maine is the most beautiful time of year, and it's very short. So that would be my other silver lining, is that I actually was able, aside from job hunting, to be off for the summer. And since we could go outdoors and like hike and kind of socially distance and those types of outdoor activities, I'm really grateful to have had a real summer vacation. Well, not the most normal summer vacation, but I at least had the chance.
Right. Yeah, I haven't been to Maine, but I hear it's beautiful up there.
It's really beautiful. The winter is a little too long for me, but the summer can't be matched.
That's wonderful. Well, good to see you, Sadie.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
And next up, we have Scott Polovitch-Davis coming to us from Seattle, Washington. Hi, Scott. Welcome to the virtual red carpet.
Thank you very much.
Now, you have been with BroadwayMania since August of 2019, but your introduction to music was as an instrumentalist, right? So how many instruments exactly did you study or did you learn to play?
Well, I started on clarinet and then switched to bassoon in about 7th grade, and I played bassoon all the way through high school and college and a little bit afterwards, and did quite a bit there. Decided I didn't want to be an instrumentalist professionally, so I decided I wanted to do some musical theater. So after college, I auditioned for my first show.
And
I played piano a little bit.
Yeah. What was that transition like? You just got tired of being in the orchestra pit and wanted to be on stage? Is that it?
That's it exactly. I did a couple of musicals in the pit and thought, oh, they're having way too much fun up there. I need to get out of the pit and get on stage.
Exactly. And I also hear that you have a love of karaoke. And I believe we are in the presence of a silver medalist of the world champion. Is that correct?
Well, national from 2018. Yes. Yeah, it was kind of a fluke. I have not done a lot of karaoke singing, and a couple of years ago I was out with some friends, and the KJ said, "Hey, we've got this competition coming up. You should think about doing it." And I'm like, sure, whatever. And I did, and I progressed through the particular venue that I was at and made it to the state competition. And at the state competition, I met someone who then invited me to be her duet partner. So she and I entered the national competition scene as duet partners. And then I also continued on and was one of the contestants as a soloist as well. And we met in Las Vegas and had a amazing competition with people from all around the States, and then silver medal in our duets. And then the gold medalist got to go to Iceland, but that was not in the cards for me.
But still, I mean, getting a silver medal in karaoke. And how is that different from, would you say, other vocalist competitions?
Oh, it's very different. I primarily sing musical theater, and not many other people do. So I was already kind of an odd duck there. And there are amazing, amazing singers out there. Singing karaoke is very different from, I have a lot of background on stage in musicals. Very different singing to a backing track, having to deal with acting, but not totally as a character, because when you're in competition, it's a different kind of presentation. And getting used to holding a microphone, that's something I had not ever done before. So
yeah, that's right, because we're normally clipping it to our hair or something else. Yeah,
exactly. And I started singing before we had a lot of microphones, so I have a pretty loud voice, and really had to learn how to dial that back and control that, very much like doing the BroadwayMania Smule singing that I do.
Yeah, exactly.
My microphone
now that we're in
is
kind of our
this.
So yeah, we can't overload these microphones as much. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so for you, what has been a highlight or a best memory of 2020?
Well, it's kind of a hard one, I guess. I'm the deputy director at a small swim and recreation club. And we, of course, closed down in March, but we were able to keep a few lifeguards and swim instructors on staff as we did a bunch of work on the facility. So actually, I was probably the busiest I've ever been in my whole life, from March until probably August, when we painted every surface, we drained and scrubbed and regrouted the pools, and just did a ton of work. So I felt really good about being able to keep people employed. And it was dicey. I mean, we had members supporting us throughout, but so I was really proud of that, and I learned a ton, and I keep learning a ton, because now being in HR and finance, especially the HR part right now, with new COVID regulations, new things to learn, helping guide my coworkers through unemployment and all that, things I'd never done before. So I personally learned a lot, and then I feel good about having helped a lot of other people keep employed as much as we could.
Yeah, being employed, but also that unemployment, that's been a lifeline to a lot of people this year.
Yeah, and hard to figure out.
Yeah, because each state, they all have their own rules about trying to figure that out. So thank you for helping us out and helping people get that. Well, it's good to meet you, Scott.
Great to meet you. Thank you so much.
And now coming to us from Palo Alto, California, Gray Norton.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Gray. Now, you've been with the BroadwayMania for about a year now, since October of 2019. And you and I actually have something in common. Both of us were boy sopranos growing up. And so were you a part of a musical family as well?
Yeah, absolutely. My dad actually is a classically trained tenor and a college music professor, choral director. And so I grew up exposed to music constantly of all different kinds, spent much of my childhood bouncing from one performance to another. And eventually I, of course, ended up on stage. My dad actually had me sing the boy solo to Leonard Bernstein's Chichester Psalms when I was, I think, 8, and I was rewarded for my performance with a new baseball mitt. But that was sort of the beginning for me.
There you go. The arts and the sports all in one. That's great.
Exactly.
And as you got into college, I hear that a cappella choirs and a cappella groups, that became a big part of your singing.
Yeah, you might say that I majored in a cappella. I did eventually graduate with an appropriate degree, but I definitely spent a lot of time in a group called the Stanford Fleet Street Singers. And actually, to this day, many of my closest friends are people who I met having that experience. And so, a cappella was a big deal for me in college. And I actually went on and sang in some a cappella groups after college as well.
And were you able to be part of like competitions and travel around the country in this group?
So this group, this was actually just before competitions in college a cappella became the thing. So we actually we won, at the time that I was in the group, there was a group called the Contemporary A Cappella Society of America. Sounds very fancy. It was actually, a couple of guys who were drumming up enthusiasm around a cappella, and they started giving annual awards a few years before I started singing a cappella. Anyway, my junior year, our group won a ton of awards, including, best album and best song and stuff in the collegiate a cappella category. And so that was the closest to a competition. In later years, actually, the group ended up traveling to New York to perform on stage and in one of the competitions that you're probably thinking of if you're thinking of like Pitch Perfect or something like that. But that was a little bit after my time.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I remember growing up with groups like Take Six and that, because in the 80s, they really launched, that type of resurgence in a cappella and interest and stuff like that. And I really love that kind of music. It's so intricate. It must take, did it take you a while to learn your parts, or did it come really naturally to you?
There's definitely hard work involved in not only learning the parts, which are very intricate, but also just the amount of rehearsal that's necessary. I mean, if you listen to a group like Take Six or anyone even approaching that caliber, just the amount of work that goes into obviously blend and really nailing, pitch so that the chords lock and ring. But I mean, just really synchronizing in terms of entrances and cutoffs and just all the subtle little dynamic things you do. I mean, these are things that, I think there's similar things for folks acting on stage, in that you definitely get a give and take and a lot of, real in-person synergy going on when you're acting. But from a pure musical standpoint, the level of synchronization of singers is something that, I think it's a little less true on stage than it is in some of these really serious a cappella groups where that's really what it's all about.
Right. But singing isn't all you do. You actually work in technology there in Silicon Valley. What exactly do you do?
Yeah, I manage a small team of software engineers working on web-related stuff at Google.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, believe me, your job's not going anywhere anytime soon.
No, well, nobody's going anywhere anytime soon, but no, yes, I do feel fortunate to be in the field that I am in.
Yeah. We've all gotten to know our computers just a little bit better over the last several months. That's for sure.
For sure.
And so for you, what has been a best moment to take away from 2020?
Yeah, I think echoing what a lot of the other folks have said, for me, it's mainly been around a chance to connect with family and really be together in a way that our busy, normal lives, don't always allow. So I have a 17-year-old son and a 14-year-old daughter, and my wife and I have really enjoyed both of us being around and in the house and with them. And I mean, for example, we're taking family walks every evening. I'm actually not taking one now that I would be taking to do this interview, but it's been amazing. I mean, instead of spending, 2 to 3 hours, commuting on the train to my job in San Francisco, I'm spending those hours at home, and I'm running into my family when I go grab lunch in the middle of the day. And it's a gift, really, to be able to spend as much time together and be together as much as we have this year. That's
wonderful. Well, good to see you.
Yeah. Good to meet you, Patrick.
And finally, we have from Monterrey, Mexico, the director and founder of BroadwayMania, Cecy Treviño.
Hi.
Hello, Cecy. So good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Now, what has Broadway Mania meant to you personally? Obviously, it's involved a lot of people. We've talked to a lot of them tonight, but for you personally, what has Broadway Mania meant to you as it's grown, as you've been producing these virtual musical experiences?
Several things. Well, first of all, it was a connection back again with the music, because I wasn't doing anything related to musical theater or music at all. So Broadway Mania was just a connection with that and that part of my life that I really miss it. And then I think I have always wanted and dreamed to do this, what I'm doing now, directing and producing or just like looking to do a full-scale musical. And I never thought that it was going to be possible because my career didn't let me do that. And right now, Broadway Mania is just basically giving us that opportunity, or giving me that opportunity, and it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, and how have you seen it affect the lives of the members of Broadway Mania?
I think that's when I realized that this was more just than a hobby, because I knew since the beginning that Broadway Mania was like my motivation and what made me like really happy when I was doing something about that. But when I realized that for people it meant a lot as well, and just giving them the chance as well, either to connect with that part of themselves with musical theater, or for people that they don't have a chance to, I don't know, maybe perform certain roles. Maybe they are doing theater in live theater, of course not now, but they are able to do things that they are not able to do there in here. And that's what I like giving opportunities.
Yeah, and certainly we spoke to Amanda first, and you were able to delegate some of that directing responsibility to her and kind of bring her under your wing in that respect.
Yeah, well, Amanda, she has been amazing in Broadway Mania. She has been on the leadership team. We have something that we call leadership team. We are some of our leaders, but besides, she has been an ensemble leader also in Broadway Mania. So those are ensemble leaders are the ones who are like the score readers, and they always help me like musically to guide everyone in a production. Without them, this wouldn't happen. So now she's part of that director, and it's just amazing because she was mostly putting emphasis on that, on the music part, and I was on the video, and it was just a great team.
Absolutely. And so for you, what has been a highlight or a best moment of 2020?
It might sound like that I'm just saying it but really, like Broadway Mania has been just a huge highlight. I think personally, it just gave me opportunity to keep on training, something that I didn't know that it was possible on the side of like, for example, I was able to take some business trainings and just like transform this idea into something like, into a plan, and just let's make this happen. So that was one of the greatest highlights. And of course, like having time to spend with my family and everything. And it's just like, I cannot say that it has been all bad 2020, but yeah.
And certainly this pandemic has put us all in front of our screens more than we would normally, which really played into Broadway Mania's strength, which is we've had people from all over the North America coming together virtually and performing and really using their craft. And so this pandemic in some way has really helped bring more visibility to Broadway Mania, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have people from Norway as well, and UK, Australia, and it just has been a great way to connect. It wasn't easy. Like you might think like, okay, well, you have been doing this for a while, so then the pandemic starts, everyone is doing virtual theater, and for you it's like super easy. We had our times to record and everything. Like we were used to be like, I know at this time I can record at my home and no one is going to be there. There's not going to be noise. And obviously when you
right.
have someone else and you know that they are hearing you, like you are like more timid to go for those high notes. So it just was a change. It really was challenging. But I think it has just made us better. So that's one of the greatest things.
And so tonight is really going to be a treat. So tell us what we have in store for us tonight.
I'm very excited for tonight. It just began an idea like it was going to be a holiday album. It's just going to be some songs that we were going to release. And it just turned out into this massive collaboration. I love that we had the chance to collaborate with other companies, with you, and meet more people. And I think that's what is great. And I think everyone is just going to have a good night. Like, we all know these songs, Christmas songs. And I don't know. We are really, really excited about this.
Yeah, so am I. You've been talking up these singers for a long time, so I can't wait to finally hear them.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for our virtual red carpet. Thank you so much for joining me and all the wonderful guests that we've had on. It is so wonderful. This group of BroadwayMania stars, they really are stars, and each of them have brought so much to this group. And I'm so glad that you've been with us to join and kind of find out a little bit more about the people behind BroadwayMania. Well, I'm going to throw it over to Cecy and Amanda to the 2020 BroadwayMania Holiday Special.
resounding joy. Fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness. And wonders of his love, and wonders of his love.
Joy indeed. Hello everyone, I'm Toby.
And I'm Nykita, and we are your hosts for
BroadwayMania's holiday show.
Yes, this is going to be a jam-packed hour filled with stories, memories, and of course, great music to start your holiday season off right.
We've got members of the entire BroadwayMania company who you just heard, as well as a whole bunch of international guests. There's going to be so much happening. You know, Nykita, you know what this feels like?
What?
Like more of like a jubilee, a jamboree, an extravaganza. Yes, that's what this is going to be, an extravaganza.
Yeah, an extravaganza. That sounds expensive. But we aren't charging anything for it, so.
No, it's totally free to enjoy this hour. Instead, we have a pay-what-you-wish program. BroadwayMania has set up a GoFundMe account, and you can see the code listed below, and it'll appear throughout the broadcast. And we hope that everyone watching will appreciate all of the work that went into this program, bringing this holiday music to you, and will give what they deem appropriate. There's no price tag on doing what we love to do, so we want the audience to make a decision for themselves if and what they want to pay in this year in which live pageants aren't going to be happening.
Well, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to want to give a lot this year after they see what BroadwayMania has put together. All the information you need to donate or to follow the group on social media will be shown throughout tonight's live broadcast. Now, you may be wondering what BroadwayMania is. Well, in short, BroadwayMania is an organization of singers from all around the world that started with the goal of producing professional virtual musical theatre productions. The founders met and started the group on a karaoke app named Mule, but BroadwayMania has since branched out and evolved into a full virtual musical theatre company.
We are a group that is only 2 years old, but we've produced many full-length show albums which can be found on our website, which is listed below. We've now branched out into video productions and this holiday special broadcast. In a minute, some of the group's leaders will tell you more about the group.
But first, back to the music. Some of BroadwayMania's ensemble leaders will demonstrate why they are such important musical leaders in our group. Take it away, guys.
God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. From God our Heavenly Father a blessed angel came, and unto certain shepherds brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Now to the Lord sing praises, all you within this place, and with true love and brotherhood each other now embrace. This holy child of Christmas shall fill our hearts with joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. God rest ye merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Let nothing merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. To save us from sin, to save us from our sin, to save us from sin, for tidings of comfort and joy.
It began in December of 2018. I founded BroadwayMania under this idea that I wanted to do a career where I can share my passion for Broadway and we can do musical theater together. I didn't imagine that we were going to be where we are now.
I found BroadwayMania a time in my life where I was looking to reconnect with a pastime of mine that I haven't been able to do since I was in high school. And I had no idea that it was going to turn into being established as a professional virtual online theater company. I wasn't even sure that something like that existed.
I remember when Cecy asked me if I wanted to become a member of the leading team of BroadwayMania, and I was honored to be asked and excited to join this great group of people who really share the same vision for BroadwayMania, and that is to become this established virtual musical theater group.
I joined BroadwayMania at a time when I was looking to fulfill the theater aspect of my life that I felt was missing. But instead of just gaining another show I can say I've done, I ended up gaining a group of friends and people that I talk to really on a daily basis.
Being a part of BroadwayMania has brought me improvements musically that I never really imagined before I joined the group.
There are people who do musical theater in real life, but they like to be here maybe because they can play a role that they are not able to do it in real life. And also we have people that for many reasons, they haven't set foot on a theater in years. And now they have the opportunity here to keep fulfilling their passion. This is what is BroadwayMania about.
Being able to sing in these parts in a variety of different roles that I may not have gotten outside of BroadwayMania has been a huge blessing. So BroadwayMania has really improved me musically more than I ever thought it could.
We're a very supportive group, and our BM culture ensures that everybody feels respected, everybody feels loved, and because of that, we have amazing engagement through our members.
BM culture is basically our personality, what defines us as a group. Our vision, our objectives, but most importantly, our values, and that's how we lead.
Our leadership in BroadwayMania is very future thinking. We often are being tasked by Cecy to set goals. Where do you see us in 5 years? Where do you see us in 1 year? And often these 5 and 1 year goals are being reached in a matter of months.
And we have fun doing it. I think that we have become great friends, not just on the leading team, but in BroadwayMania in general. And it's really exciting to kind of see our dream come true. And as a member of the leading team, we are tasked with the responsibility to make that happen.
And it's been really incredible to be a part of it. And I think it's largely due to the organization and innovative thinking of our leadership that is led largely by Cecy. And she constantly pushes us to think way outside of our box and beyond of what we ever thought it could have been possible for BroadwayMania. And here we are.
And then COVID happens.
We're living in a time where theater is not able to occur because of the ongoing pandemic.
For a few weeks, we had to pause for a second and say, what do we want to do? Do we want to wait, or we want to turn this around and keep it going, do different things, and see where this goes? And we decided to do number 2.
And although challenging, obviously, in many ways, it has also been exciting because it has given us an opportunity to kind of see that goal really start to become true. You know, it gives us an opportunity to kind of fill that void, and not only the void for the performers themselves, but also for the audience members. You know, these are challenging times, but honestly, they're exciting times for BroadwayMania, and I am thrilled to be a part of it.
Sing glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled, joyful all Prince of Peace. Hail the Son of Righteousness. Light and life to all he brings. Risen with healing in his wings. Mildly lays his glory by. Born that man no more may die. Born to raise the sons of earth. Born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing. Glory to the newborn King.
Hello there everyone, my name's Elliot from the Stage Plays podcast, and I am here to present to you Silent Night, which features some of the international artists that I recorded with way back in July for a very special BroadwayMania episode on the Stage Plays podcast. I hope you enjoy this song, and I also hope that you have a very safe Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. Die miljoenen eenzalige zaal wordt geboren in Bethlehemstal. Hij der schepselen heeft, hij der schepselen
Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight. Det var änglar som hirdarnas såg. Den gång Herren i krybben låg. Eviga änglarnas sång. Eviga änglarnas sång.
Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light. Entre los astros que esparcen su luz, ve anunciando al niño Jesús. Brilla la estrella de paz. Brilla la estrella de amor.
Hello again. We at BroadwayMania wanted to take a second and say thank you. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We really hope that you're enjoying the show thus far. We also wanted to thank you for your generous donations. You may be asking yourself, where is this money going to? Well, outside of the portion that will be donated to deaf children worldwide, BroadwayMania has very exciting news that we want to share exclusively with you. We have received approval to purchase the rights for a legit full-length musical that we are going to perform for you virtually next year. This is exciting news and something that we have been working very hard to achieve. And with your help and your generosity and your support, we just might make this goal happen. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we wish you very, very happy holidays.
Hello, my name is Andy and I want to share with you my favourite Christmas memory. So as a child, myself, my brother and my mum and dad would go to my nana and granddad's for Christmas Day, and there we would see all of the family, and it was I just loved it. It was something I looked forward to every single year. You know, unless it was like a big birthday celebration during the year, or if we, you know, were at a family event, we wouldn't really see each other as much in one room together. So for everyone to be together was really, really special. That Christmas has always felt like that time that family should always be together, rather than just it be all about the presents and stuff. It was really nice to all be together and just, you know, live out the Christmas spirit. And to do that, I like to wear this gorgeous jumper, and I'm going to show you right now. Yes! Merry Christmas!
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. We say, oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny's bride was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. We say, oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Now the ground is wide, go it while you're young. Take the reins tonight, sing the sleighing song. Get a bobtail bay, 240 as the speed. Hitch him to an open sleigh and crack, you'll take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. We say, oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
What a great song. You know, music speaks to people no matter where they're from. It may not be the same music, but some songs, especially holiday songs, are universal. The BroadwayMania company that you're listening to tonight comes from all around the world, as do your hosts. I, for example, am from New York City, in Hell's Kitchen, the location of West Side Story, and just blocks from the Broadway theaters that are currently dark but have their marquees lit with the hopes of opening in the future.
Yes, and I am from Brisbane in Australia. Australia, you know, known for good old Hugh Jackman, and that's kind of it, or at least that's all I can think of right now.
So we started at 8 p.m. here. What time is that for you?
So that is equivalent to 11 a.m. here in Brisbane.
Ooh, well,
so,
good morning.
A little bit different, yep. So it's nothing like a holiday extravaganza to start your day off right, am I right?
You are right. I wouldn't know because we do ours at night. See, while we dream of a white Christmas in New York, what are you dreaming of during your Christmas in the summer down under?
Ooh, you know what? Us Aussies, we love a good cold bevy and sitting on the beach. Yeah, that's a classic Christmas for us here.
That is such a different Christmas movie than what we make here.
Isn't it? It's so funny. Every time I listen to the song I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, I'm always like, I mean, we have white sand. Does that count?
Not the same thing, but close enough.
Exactly. So we celebrate universality of music and holiday spirit in this next multilingual performance.
Fidelis, late each week.
cieli, venite adoriamo, venite adoriamo, venite adoriamo, Cristo il Signor.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie, this is my name sign, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about ASL. So ASL is a language, it's complex, and it has its own special grammar and vocabulary. Language is a right, not a privilege, and deaf and hard of hearing people need ASL to have access to things like theater. So I love theater and I love ASL. So I wanted to combine the two and make something really special. I am so happy and proud and excited to show you Oh Holy Night. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and enjoy.
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth.
Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appears and the soul felt its worth.
A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born, oh, night divine, oh, night divine.
Truly he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace.
Chain shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease.
Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name.
God
everyone, my name's Madison, and one of the ways that my family decorates for Christmas is my parents, my mom in particular, loves Christmas. And so it's a tradition in my parents' house that the Friday immediately following Thanksgiving, we pull out all of the Christmas stuff, all the boxes and everything from the attic, and we turn on Christmas music and we make hot chocolate or whatever drink we want. And we start decorating for Christmas. And it was always so fun growing up because we knew like the next morning we woke up, we could start decorating for Christmas right away.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
See the blazing Yule before us,
fa la 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 la.
Strike the harp and join the chorus,
fa la 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 la.
Follow me in merry measure,
fa la 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 la.
while I tell of Yuletide treasure,
fa la 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 la.
pass away the old year passes,
fa la 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 la.
hail the new year lads and lasses,
fa la 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 la.
sing we joyous all together,
fa la 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 la.
heedless of the wind and weather,
fa la 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 la. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol, fa la 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 la.
Hi, I'm Cecy, the founder of BroadwayMania.
And I'm Amanda. Cecy and I directed this program together, and we wanted to welcome you personally and thank you for spending your time with us tonight.
Isn't this a wonderful show? We would like to give a special thanks to Patrick Oliver Jones, host of the Wall'll Never Make It podcast, for his great hosting on our virtual red carpet before the broadcast. Like all of what BroadwayMania does, this holiday special has been a labor of love. We love working with and directing our fellow company members to put the best show that we could.
Cecy in particular is single-handedly responsible for all of the amazing video editing that's been done tonight, in addition to much, much more. I don't know how you do it all.
Well, certainly I haven't done it by myself. Thank you so much, Amanda, for being co-directing this with me. And I want to give also a special thank you to Toby and Nykita for being hosting this show. Gray for helping us with all the technological part and being backstage, stage managing this. Sadie, Melissa, all of our ensemble leaders, and all the company that have been putting a lot of work and effort into this show. It's the group and what I know that we can achieve that keeps me going. And of course, our audience. There's no point in doing any of this if we aren't producing content that you want to see. Professional, high-quality audio and visual recordings from musical theater. And now, holiday music.
Cecy has taken us this far with no money, but in order for a group to grow, we need funds. Things like music licensing, streaming fees, and editing software were not a concern in the beginning. But as the group does more and does better, these costs need to be addressed. And that's where you come in. If you are enjoying this program and you want to see more, and you want to help us do more, and give you more quality entertainment, please go to our GoFundMe and donate what you can. We are pleased to announce that 10% of all of our proceeds tonight will go to deaf children worldwide. This is a leading international organization based in the UK, and they provide support for deaf children in developing countries. It's just an amazing program, and any support you can give, we are truly grateful. And if it happens to be less than what you would normally give because of these tough times, or even if you can give nothing, We are so very grateful for you watching us tonight.
While we look forward, we also look back and look around. I am from Monterrey, Mexico, and I attended the Acosta Escuela de Canto. Well, the school has been so gracious to participate with us in this holiday, what is it? Extravaganza? And they shared this next performance with us. I hope you enjoy.
I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Well, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof, her beauty in the moonlight overthrew you. She tied you to the kitchen chair, she broke your throne and she cut your hair, and from your lips she drew the hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Well, baby, I've been here before. I've seen the throne and I walked this floor. I used to live alone before I knew you. And I've seen your flag on the marble arch. And love is not a victory match. It's a call and it's a broken hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. And it's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not somebody who's seen the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
In this roller coaster of a year, the arts community has been particularly hard hit, what with the theaters and performance venues closed, but artists are still finding a way to reach out and connect with audiences. And BroadwayMania has been a big part of that. Here's some of BroadwayMania's best talking about why the arts is so important to them.
Theater means the world to me. Theater, it was my safe space growing up. If I am in a bad mood, then I can put on some musical theater music. If I am having a great day, I'll put on something positive. There's something for everyone.
I think the arts is so important, especially for someone like me who doesn't really fit in anywhere else. If I hadn't pursued this, I honestly don't know what I'd be doing. I'm so grateful that I was able to also do a Bachelor of Music Performance, which is my absolute passion. So the arts mean the absolute world to me.
I think one of the most special things about the performing arts for me is the unique opportunity that it provides for community and connection. Because when an artist takes on a person and tells their story and someone else finds themselves in that, then we're back at this beautiful common ground as human beings. There is so much that divides us. And to find ourselves in that common ground, to say this is who we are together, is really beautiful and needed.
Being in the arts is more than just entertaining or performing. It's also finding a home, a place where we can express ourselves, a place where we can feel accepted by others, and it's also a place where we can connect. And that's what BroadwayMania has really done with this holiday special, and what they continue to do throughout the year is connect not only us as artists, but also us to you in telling a story and creating a community not only of artists, but of theater lovers everywhere.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains,
and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? See what may that tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee, Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. See him in a manger laid, on the choirs of angels praise. Mary, Joseph, lend your aid, with us sing our Savior's birth. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
On the 7th day of Christmas, Corona gave to me 7 pantless meetings,
6 feet of distance, non-quarantine, 4 kids at home, 3 cloth masks,
2 spotless hands.
crazy.
On the 8th day of Christmas, Corona gave to me 8 rolls of Charmin,
7 pantless meetings,
6 feet of distance, quarantine,
4 kids at home, 3 cloth masks,
2 spotless hands,
and a year when everything went crazy.
On the 9th day of Christmas, Corona gave to me 9 hairdressers needed,
8 rolls of Charmin.
oh, sorry, I was on mute.
6 feet of distance.
I hate being stuck inside.
Okay, this is not math.
I hate this thing.
I really need some lotion. And a year when everything went crazy. On the 10th day of Christmas, Corona gave to me 10 no-contact deliveries, 9 hairdressers needed, 8 rolls of Charmin.
Moving.
Stay away from me!
Still on quarantine.
4 kids at home.
I'm gonna do it.
Can't forget my nails. On the 11th day of Christmas, Corona gave to me 11 heroes working, 10 no-contact deliveries, 9 hairdressers needed.
Hey, that's my Charmin.
I'm awake. Yeah, meetings.
6 feet of distance.
My fingers are bleeding.
On the 12th day of, 8th day of, 15th day of Groundhog's Day, Sunday of Christmas. What day is it? I can't tell anymore.
11 heroes working, 10 no-contact deliveries, 9 hairdressers needed.
6 feet of distance.
Home quarantine. And a year when everything went crazy.
Hello again. I have just one question. Nykita, are you okay, girl?
I mean, look, yes, lockdown restrictions were lifted before I did any permanent damage. That video was so much fun to do, though. Thank you so much for writing this lyric.
Well, it was a pleasure to write and to give you all a little direction and watch you run with it. It was really pretty amazing what you guys all did with it. Hopefully they gave everyone kind of spoke to our common experience that we've had in this crazy, crazy year. Audience, if you liked it, you can find it on our YouTube and Facebook pages. And please, please, please like it a lot, share it all you can, and let's make that the official Corona end of the year anthem for 2020.
I agree, yes. Fortunately, we get to end this year, as always, with the holiday season. And though it is going to look a bit different this year, for many people and families may not always be together as in past years, nothing can stop the way the holidays make us feel. This is true no matter what holiday you celebrate this season.
Hi everyone, happy holidays and happy Hanukkah! My family celebrates Hanukkah, 8 nights of Hanukkah. So every night we would light the menorah, which is the candle holder, and we would get a present. That's something we've always done, and even when I went away to college, my mom would send me a big box filled with 8 presents that were individually wrapped, so I would have one to open every night of Hanukkah.
My name is Jessica and I am from Melbourne, Australia, and I celebrate Hanukkah. A typical menorah would look something like this. This is ours. We also collect many menorahs, and we have different beautiful ones that are very decorative. Traditional foods that we typically eat are jam-filled donuts, or what we call latkes, which is basically like a potato pancake. Traditionally, we don't really give presents, but it's the Festival of Lights, so typically everyone just comes together and we say the prayer for the 8 nights. Every year here in Melbourne, we have a park in the centre of the Jewish community, and we have this massive celebration where there's rides and food stalls and a huge band playing, and then we have fireworks at the end of the night, which is such a great way to end the year, and also for Hanukkah as well.
This next song is so special because it combines singers from the Acosta Singing School and Ian Nesbitt vocal coaching in with the members of BroadwayMania. Enjoy!
Above thy deep and dreamless
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. Oh, good tidings for Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh,
we wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Wow, it's amazing to see all those future BroadwayMania members.
Passing down traditions and music from older generations to newer generations is what the holidays is all about. And we hope that tonight we've been able to pass on to you some of BroadwayMania's love of music and performing it together.
We hope that you've learned a bit more about this group that keeps popping up on your YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook feeds, or will if you follow us.
And finally, we hope that you'll support us in our mission to bring you professional virtual musical theatre and holiday entertainment by paying what you wish on our GoFundMe page, which will remain open for a few days after this broadcast.
And speaking of this broadcast, we'll rebroadcast this tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is way more convenient for our friends in Europe. So feel free to tell anybody you think might enjoy it, and also feel free to watch it again.
It has been an absolute pleasure hosting this event for you. On behalf of BroadwayMania, we'd like to thank all of our presenters and special guests. Please support them by following them on social media and listening to their podcast.
We would like to thank all of the BroadwayMania participants and, of course, all of you watching. We couldn't do this and would have no reason to if it wasn't for your support and viewership. Nykita, thank you for hosting this with me. We're like the new Sonny and Cher. Do you have them in Australia?
Yes, we know all about them. And thank you for hosting this with me. It's been so much fun. But it's not over yet. No, to wind down this holiday extravaganza.
From our BroadwayMania family and our actual families to yours,
happy holidays
and good night.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy holidays and Kwanzaa.
Joyeux Noël.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Frohe Weihnachten und ein frohes neues Jahr.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad. Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Feliz Navidad.
Merry Christmas.
I wish everyone in BroadwayMania a very happy Christmas /Hanukkah /holiday.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Subscribe, but until back soon. Bye!